what would you say the stakes were then?
The stakes you could start at, it's very simple for me. We have all those distributors and we put a lot of time into those relationships. I'd known some of them for going on 20 years, and we're 20-year-old company right now. So back then it would have been, just as old, 10-year-old distributor and relationships that we had built. And I had nurtured those relationships into what they were and what they are. Some of them are 20, $30 million companies at this point, but back then, they were $5 or $10 million companies. And that's a lot of revenue. The idea of, hey, lying to all of them, being a part of the lie, I should say, not myself, but, we had built this company where we would always give leads out. We're big on marketing and giving out leads and opportunities. And I love to be able to be different than all of my competitors. And that's one thing that none of them do. So we've always been doing that. And, to have somebody betray that trust, it sucked. And so when I think about like the trust value that we lost in that moment, I think about that. I think about, because it's one of those things where in business, there's always somebody else to do business with, and in those moments, in that moment there, it was like, I was feeling a lot of guilt on myself. How did I let this happen? And then how do we talk to people? Because it was one of those situations at the time where, the lawyers are telling us, don't say anything to anybody. So on one hand, we had this problem happen where all of a sudden, we're finding out, distributors are asking, hey, why is your employee selling in our territory under this brand? And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, crap. What do you mean? Bob, our employee Bob, is selling our playgrounds in a territory maintained by someone else. And it's like,
Mm.
how? Well, it leads to a lot of fun conversations, and it just leads to one of those relationship moments where it's like, yeah, we made some mistakes and we had to own it really quickly.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're saying that one, which is one a really important factor, is that you had relationships on the line because when you break trust, I mean, even like you said, there are other people out there to do business with, but as we all know, like in our industries, news travels and we get reputation. So, that's obviously was significant. And then I assume there was revenue on the line as well, because any one of those could walk away because they'd be angry. And then I'm sure there was an element of morale, maybe even.
Absolutely. I mean,